you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So this week's Culture Wise is making healthy choices. And I thought, who better to talk about this than you? Because I know that you are pretty dedicated, making healthy choices every day for your physical, mental health. And I'm certainly not the best person to talk about this. So I appreciate you getting started here, okay?
Of course, thanks for having me.
All right, good. So let's start off and just say, what are some of the things that you do, say each day, each week, or even longer for your physical and mental or even your financial health?
I'd say the things I focus on the most are my sleep, my nutrition, which is food and hydration, so water. I try to not use an alarm to wake up. I try to wake up naturally. So I set a backup alarm, obviously, because I can't miss work, but I try to go to bed early enough so that my body wakes up before my alarm goes off.
Okay.
I also don't snooze my alarm. I get out of bed immediately. From the research I've done, it shows it only hurts you to snooze your alarm and stay in bed. The only benefit is what you think in your mind when you do it. Otherwise, I try to prioritize whole, minimally processed foods with no artificial sweeteners or added sugars, basically 75% of the time. So it's not like I don't.
You're not rigid.
You might think I'm rigid because when you see me at work, I eat very consistently for lunch. But no, I try for 75%. Sometimes I do a little bit better. Some weeks I do a lot worse.
Yeah, you bring in some very good looking food. So when you say no sugars or artificial sweeteners, do you use natural sugars though? Will you add honey or maple syrup or things like that? Or you're just trying to
try to avoid adding that kind of stuff at all, at least 75% of the time, right?
Okay.
So I'll have desserts, I'll have ice cream, I'll have stuff with sugar in it, but 75% of what I eat, I try to not have that stuff.
Wow, okay, well that's great. Were you always this committed to these habits, or what inspired you? When did you start? Always, or at some point?
Yeah, so I definitely did not always have these habits. I grew up in a family where it was you live to eat.
Okay.
So life revolved around the food that we were having for our meals. Everything was basically revolved around food, snacks, desserts, treats. Through different struggles of my life, specifically after a bad relationship, I went to the gym to try to look better so I could get a new lady, right? And kind of part of doing that consistently led me to want to optimize what I'm getting out. So if I'm going to the gym for an hour every day, I want to get everything I can out of it instead of maybe not making any progress or not seeing any visible changes, whatever it may have been. That led me to figure out how important nutrition is to what I'm doing. And not only that it's more important, but nutrition plays about an 80% role versus what you actually do for exercise or eating. Or sorry, the eating is 80%, but what you do for exercise or otherwise.
Well, they say you can't outrun a bad diet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Darn it. Okay.
So that kind of naturally made me to go down a few rabbit holes, from corruption in the food industry to, quick 2-week instant weight loss plans, and then eventually to finding science-based research, which kind of helped me learn how to optimize the nutrition that I'm having, my macronutrients, like your carbs, proteins, and fats, and then how to get good information for what exercises to be doing, how to program your exercises, and how to periodize them for very long-term type things.
Okay, great. Have you noticed the differences in your energy levels or your productivity or anything else for work? How has it impacted your life other than looking good and
Yeah, so the looking good was has been a side effect. Yes, I started doing that stuff for more of a superficial outcome, but part of being consistent in doing it, I learned all of the mental benefits of it. I would love the way that I felt both inside the gym while I was working out, as well as how I would feel immediately afterwards, right? You get an endorphin rush, and it's you're high on drugs without having to take drugs, and then the prolonged effects of being more stable mood, being more consistent, being able to be more present with the people that I'm interacting with. And so that really led me to become what you might call addicted to it, is more of that. It became my therapy.
Okay.
It became a physical therapy for me, which also translated to a mental therapy.
Great. So just as kind of a little bit of a sidebar, but with the costs of food and other expenses, everything, gym costs, everything going up, how do you balance investing in your health without breaking the bank?
It's very hard. It takes a lot of intention, effort, failing, learning, trying new things. So specifically,
You made a comment before about your health being an important investment.
Yes, I definitely agree. The health is basically the most important investment that you can make, right? Without our health, we literally have nothing. When you're struggling or you're sick or you're in pain because you've hurt yourself, like how many things can you handle in your mind, or how many things matter to you in those moments? One, your pain, your suffering.
Right, yeah.
Like, think about the last time you were sick and that's all you care about is getting better. The last time you hurt your back, the only thing you think about most of the day is how much your back hurts. It's hard to focus, and that really kind of translates to so many areas of your life, because if you're not the best version of yourself, how are you giving the best version to your family, your kids, your coworkers, your friends? You're not.
You're not. Right.
So unless you're really taking care of yourself, you're not really doing justice to those your loved ones.
Yeah. Put your mask on first.
Yeah.
She said.
Yeah.
Mask on first. So if you could just share one simple change that people can make that's made the biggest difference to your well-being, physical, mental, whatever, what would it be? I mean, just what could people do?
I can't pick one.
Okay.
There's two. Find some type of movement that you enjoy.
Okay.
It could be lifting weights. It could be walking, it could be running, it could be hiking, it could be canoeing, literally anything that gets you outdoors and active.
Yeah, get you off the couch.
Is so important for everyone, right? There's a saying that my friends always say that when you stop, you die. So when you stop moving, when your pets, stop going on walks, it's very clear what happens when people start to be sedentary.
Yeah.
So being sedentary is so detrimental to all areas of your health.
Okay.
So finding that is extremely important, or would be so beneficial for people, as well as that 75% of the time thing. So trying to work towards that. If you're at 10% right now, work towards 15 or 20. You don't have to go all or nothing. It's about balance. So find a way to make some small improvements. Maybe switch out one meal a week to start with. It doesn't need to be a huge all or nothing. You can be like, oh, I can get to 50% and that's where I'm at right now. Great. You just got to make small steps. That's all it takes.
So how do you resist all the food that sometimes we have in the break room, bagels and donuts, and I don't see you often sometimes. Is that the 25%? Have you saved the 25% for that?
The way that I typically justify those things to myself is more of a delayed gratification type of thing, as well as thinking about how I'd rather enjoy those types of things with my wife and my kid when I go home at the end of the day for my dinner than while I'm here.
Okay.
So I try to save my 25% to enjoy with my family.
Okay.
As well as I set goals, right? I want to achieve certain things with either being able to do a specific exercise, whether it's what I'm working on right now, like a pistol squat, which is like a one-legged squat where your other leg goes out in front of you. It's hard. I'm not good at it, but I have a goal to do this, and part of that is the more I would eat and the more I would weigh, the harder it would make it.
Okay.
So by having a goal and something that I'm working towards and that I want to achieve, I think about those goals when I'm making my nutrition choices.
Okay.
So it's does this align with what I'm doing? Do I have some flexibility?
Okay, good point. That you don't look at it as I can't have it. It's just when do I want to have it? Who do I want to have it with? And how does it fit in? You're reminding yourself of that. So if that's when you want to have it during the day with your coworkers, that's great. Just work it into your plan, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't. You save it. you save your donut for 2 donuts for later, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any last thoughts that you'd like to share, or something maybe you missed?
I think being healthy is very personal to each person. What is healthy for one person may be not healthy for the other. Everyone has to be able to make their own decisions about what's healthy for them with the help of their doctor, their loved ones, and research, right? And I think it's important to be compassionate with yourself and not too hard on yourself, because it's all about small progress. Once you can start making baby steps.
That's pretty powerful, that you do need to be compassionate with yourself and with others, but with yourself especially. We're often really hard on ourselves. We do one thing and we're like, oh gosh, I'm a terrible person. So,
yeah, it's very easy.
Good
it's
point.
very easy for me to be hard on myself when I maybe don't meet my 75% goal for the week, and it's like, well, for the past 4 weeks, look what I did. And it's like, that's how I kind of try to show myself compassion is, hey, look at all this stuff I'm doing, look at all the stuff I'm going to still do. And no big deal. I had a couple extra donuts this week. Okay.
Well, I think it's great. I admire you tremendously.
Thank you.
You're my role model now. So thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And everybody, make healthy choices. And if you need any guidance, you know where Justin sits.
Always happy to answer questions.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gary.